$3,000 can turn a forgotten Porsche Boxster into a car that embarrasses things twice its price in the corners. But spend that money in the wrong order, and you'll torch a $500 set of tires in under 10,000 miles. The 986 is the most underrated mid-engine sports car ever built. It's also a trap if you don't know its weak points. Let's set expectations. A clean, running 986 from 1997 to 2004 cost you $4 to $8 grand depending on miles and trim. That's your donor car, completely separate from this $3,000 build budget. And here's the honest framing nobody gives you. $3 grand turns a good used 986 into a great driver. It does not turn a basket case into a show car. The baseline car matters more than every mod combined. Now, the elephant in the engine bay, the IMS bearing. The intermediate shaft bearing is the 986's Achilles heel. On most M96 engines, that single row bearing can fail and take the entire motor with it. A retrofit from LN Engineering runs 400 to 900 in parts, but labor pushes the total to 1,500, even 2,500 when you do the rear main seal at the same time. That is not in this $3,000 build. Buy a car with documented IMS work, or budget for it separately. Skipping this to fund mods is the single most common mistake new owners make. Before you spend $1 on looks or grip, the 986 demands maintenance money. The coolant expansion tank cracks at the seams with age, so replace it on anything over 80,000 miles, $45 to $75. The dual thermostats run 90 to 130 for the pair. Then, the air oil separator. This thing fails on virtually every high-mileage 986, causing oil consumption, rough idle, and a smoke show out the back. An OEM-style replacement is 80 to 120, and it's a 2-hour DIY job with a Bentley manual. Add fresh plugs, gearbox and diff fluid, and a brake flush. Call it $450 in parts. Here's how the $3 grand splits. Maintenance $450. Wheels $600. Tires $500. Suspension $550. Brakes $350. Cosmetics $350. Alignment $150. And $250 in contingency, because something always breaks a fastener or reveals a surprise. That lands you right around $3,000 in parts. If you can't turn wrenches yourself, add $400 to $900 in labor. Suspension and brakes are the most DIY friendly. Alignment must be professional, no exceptions. Wheels are where people get burned. The 986 runs a 5x130 bolt pattern with a 57.1 mm center bore. That's Porsche specific, shared with the 996 and 997 era 911s, and it kills most of your aftermarket options. Apex doesn't even make a 5x130 fitment. So your smart play is used OEM Porsche wheels, the Boxster design or Carrera styles, 17s in a staggered 7 front, 8.5 rear. A clean used set runs $300 to $600 on Marketplace or Renlist classifieds. Refinished OEM wheels never look cheap. Before you buy a single used wheel, cross-reference the offset and width against threepiece.us fitment data for the 986. The front strut clearance is the most common fitment problem on this car, and threepiece.us aggregates real owner data so you know whether a wheel and tire combo actually clears without rubbing. For stock fitment, you want ET55 up front, ET52 to 55 in the rear, or ET50 for a mildly aggressive look. Guess wrong here, and your fresh tires rub the strut on every turn. Tires. The community near-unanimously loves the Michelin Pilot Sport 4, but at $600 to $740 for a set, it blows the budget. So the smart money buys the Falcon Azenis FK510 in a staggered setup, $205 for 50, 17 front, $255 for 40, Yuku 17 rear. 4 mounted and balanced lands at $480 to $550. And the FK510 has a serious following for wet grip and progressive limit behavior, which perfectly suits the 986's mid-engine balance. Hankook Ventus V12 EVO2 is the other strong budget pick. Suspension is where you save yourself from a huge mistake. At this budget, you want lowering springs, not cheap coilovers. A no-name $400 coilover kit is worse than a $300 H&R spring set on good OEM shocks. The cheap units use garbage valving that makes the car harsh and unpredictable at the limit, and the 986's balance is a precision instrument. Get the H&R Sport Springs, part number 29498E1, around 280 to 340. They drop you a clean inch to inch and a half, kill that factory-lifted stance, and cut body roll without beating you up daily. The Eibach Pro Kit is the slightly softer alternative at 240. If your OEM shocks are tired at 100,000 miles, the right pairing is Bilstein B6, 80 to 120 each. But that pushes your suspension budget over $550, so plan for it or defer it if the shocks are still good. And when you lower the car, check your sway bar end links. They can bind. Adjustable links from EU034 Motorsport run 80 to 150 per axle, only if you need them. Brakes. The 986's stock hardware is genuinely good, so this is fresh pads and rotors, not a big brake kit. Zimmermann Sport rotors are the community favorite, lightly slotted, no cracking risk, but to stay at 350, grab plain Brembo OE replacement rotors and Hawk Horsepower's pads. The Horsepower's gives better bite than OEM, with barely more dust and no cold bite penalty. Now the trap. The 986's rear caliper has an integrated parking brake. Do not compress those pistons with a C-clamp. You'll wreck the mechanism. You need a $20 win-back tool that rotates the piston in. That cheap tool saves you a $300 caliper. Cosmetics get $350, spent smart. Raggtopp fabric protectant for $30 to $40 restores a sun-faded soft top. Inside, vinyl conditioner, leather treatment, and a $15 door panel clip kit fix the tired bits. Outside, clay bar, polish, wax, and a Porsche touch-up pen for stone chips. And replace the dead trunk struts on both trunks, 15 to 30 each. Lids that won't stay open scream neglected. Working struts make the whole car feel fresh. The alignment is not optional. The 986 eats front tires under stock geometry, and lowering it without a proper alignment will destroy that fresh set in 5 to 10,000 miles. Book the appointment before the spring install is even done, and drive straight there. Target 1.5 to 2 degrees of negative camber front and rear with slight toe-in. Spend $1 to $175 at an independent shop that knows European cars. Skip the quick lube specials. They can't even adjust what this car needs. A few more landmines. Never use Euro parts for cooling, brake, or suspension components. The failure rate on their cooling parts is documented all over Rennlist and Pelican. Use them only for trunk struts and interior clips. And the 5x130 pattern is unforgiving of cheap adapters. The community has documented actual wheel separation incidents with low-quality spacers. If you need a different offset, buy the correct wheel. Period. Install order matters. Maintenance first, always. Then brakes, a half-day job, and bed those pads, 10 moderate stops from 40, 10 harder from 60. Then springs. Budget a full weekend with spring compressors. Then straight to alignment. Then wheels and tires, torqued to 130 Newton meters, 96 foot-pounds. And remember, the 986 uses wheel bolts, not lug nuts. Cosmetics happen on evenings throughout. If your budget ever grows, the first emotional upgrade is a Fab Speed or Borla catback exhaust, 600 to 1500, which transforms the M96 from pleasant to spectacular. Here's the verdict. For $3,000 in parts and maybe $500 to $900 in labor and alignment, a well-chosen 986 Boxster becomes a sorted, confident sports car that punches way above its price tag in the corners. This build respects the platform. It fixes what the car actually needs instead of chasing horsepower numbers your budget can't responsibly support. Do this if you want a driver that rewards you every single time it leaves the garage. Avoid it if you bought a cheap project with mystery IMS history hoping mods will save it, because they won't. Before you order a single wheel, run your fitment through threepiece.us so you don't rub a fresh set of tires on day one. If this saved you a costly mistake, subscribe and tell me your dream budget build in the comments.